Everybody back to Helsinki, Finland. We are here at the Assembly Summer watching the ASUS ROG Summer Championship. It is the last game of the night. It is the last game of Group B. It is decider game between the Space Soldiers and Tricked. I hope the analyst desk is ready. I heard there's a ghost. Let's go see if he's there or not.
Well, lack of lights, it seems to be a thing, and I'm not sure I would call this a desk. I would call this a lounging area more than anything. What do you guys think?
It really is a combination of semi-lazy boys.
Exactly.
That's actually what this should be. Table. What we really need is proper lazy boys where you just go full horizontal.
No, like I said, tomorrow we're going to be lying on beds on the big stage. Why not?
That's what it should be,
right? Yeah.
We'll get there eventually.
I mean, we can probably be the first event to get a furniture sponsorship. Get proper couches.
There we go.
Just putting it out there, you know.
We're on to something.
Got some ideas.
Exactly. Well, I've been told to keep this brief, so should we just dwell right into it? It's going to be Space Soldiers, as we just saw them play against ENS in a really intense game. They lost it in second overtime in the end, was it? Yeah, it was. And then they're going to be facing against Trick, who beat Archangels in the losers game. This time it's going to be a best of 3. Ben, I know you kind of went through a bit of the statistics on the map, so why don't you go through that?
Well, yeah, just right off the bat, it seems like a pretty okay veto for Tricked. I was kind of worried about them because I know that a lot of Hunden teams likes to play overpass a lot, and that's one of the insta vetoes for Space Soldiers, seemingly. So I'm a bit scared that they might get, off to a bad start in that sense. But the 3 maps that they've ended up on, which is, I think it's Train, and we've got Dust 2, and Cobble is Space Soldiers pick. That's all the 3 most played maps, actually, for Tricked. And they've all have, quite a good rating on it, to put it that way. Like positive win rates, obviously, but it seems to be very familiar picks for the Danish side. So that's a good thing going into this. And we saw them, in the game they played previously, in the first group stage game, that they can definitely fight and go head-to-head with Space Soldiers unless they actually start off the game by going down 13-3.
And I mean, those are all maps where you can sort of base your play around an Opper, which is what Trick very much does around Yugi. So I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing him play. We actually haven't caught any of their games so far. No. Obviously been focused on the other games, but he's someone that I was told to keep an eye on here. So that's what I plan on doing this game. And obviously, like you said, good map pool for Trick, but especially for him.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that just the depth of the talent pool in Denmark is actually pretty insane if you look at things. They have so many players outside the best team of the country that you could potentially be, up there battling with the best players.
And it was super annoyingly because apparently Danish players a lot of CS players aren't that, creative when it comes to making nicknames. There's another guy on this team who's called Nico.
Why not?
Go figure.
Yes, let's get some more of those, please.
Yeah, who's an up-and-coming Danish player who's, supposedly is someone you should expect to see more of in the coming future.
The notorious thing for Danish Counter-Strike, though, going back in time, has been that they've kind of not been able to. There's been a lot of girlfriend issues within teams.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of random stuff happening. Why teams have been breaking up and falling apart.
It's been like Real Housewives of Danish CS.
Exactly. You could have done some really good reality TV off of that stuff.
Look, those guys just need to learn how to separate business and personal life. That's all they need to do. Just put one here and the other one here, and there's a wall in between.
All right, boys. I'm going to try to squeeze in some predictions here. They are ready to go, so let's do this.
I'm thinking Space Soldiers 2-1.
I actually like the map pool for Tricked enough that I'm going to say 2-0 Tricked.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's going balls deep, I would say. I still do feel like Space Soldiers is the better team of the 2. They've convinced me way more. I'm actually going to think that Space Soldiers should take this in 2.
I think the problem here on this map pool for Space Soldiers is that these aren't necessarily maps where Santaris can do what he just did, where, he literally won like 4 rounds plus forced the ecos by just getting 2 entries himself. It's a lot harder to do that on a map like Train, where you can sort of just turtle into a bomb site. You're not going to be able to pick up as many 1v1 duels. Yeah. Same thing on Cobble, pretty much, if the CTs just play bunker style, which I assume they will. So if I'm Tricked, all I'm trying to do is minimize his impact. I'm going to try to group up as much as possible. And I think that's the edge that they're going to have.
Yeah. Well, I got a bit of an update here. We're not going to be going straight into it after all, because turns out there's a slight issue they have to iron out. So We can keep on talking a little bit more about this.
Well, yeah, no, just it's a good point that you bring up the fact that a map like Train kind of limits Centaur's ability to basically take over a map or take over a round in the favor of Space Soldiers at any given time. That's where the addition of Paz really has come to shown to be, very positive for them. The couple of games I've seen Space Soldiers play Train, which is albeit not too often, Paz has just pretty much every single time been amazing at just finding entry frags, similar to what Phelps would do for Immortals when they play Train, just coming out of Pop Dog, finding frags almost immediately with a pretty quick tempo to what they're doing. Paz has been doing that for Space Soldiers, so it's going to be cool to see whether or not Trick actually know how to handle that, or if he's going to be able to continue with that kind of thing.
In my opinion, though, when you think about Space Soldiers, in my opinion at least, it's not obviously Qatar is a massive part of it, but they still seem like a team that's been dry running a lot of their stuff a lot of times.
Yeah, Tugux is that kind of guy who will do that to a team for sure.
Yeah, really ironing out a lot of the small things here and there. You can see that they're really paying attention to the details of how they throw certain things, how they pace their Molotovs, for example, or their flashes, and how they have everything working out. So in that sense, it just, to me at least, it feels like Space Soldiers, regardless of the map pool, it's just the more complete team of the two.
Well, yeah, I can agree with that, but I also think that's partly because Tricked haven't really been on our radar for that much. So we have limited information as to what we can see. Obviously, they're a Danish team, so they swap out lineups pretty often. I mean, the two newest additions on that team is, I think it's from June. So it's not like they've been a stable core or a stable lineup for all that long, but they're still able to make and put in a system in works that allows them to perform at a decent level rather quickly. So I would still expect Trick to, even though Space Soldiers are probably favorites going into this, at least in our eyes, I would expect Trick to put up a good fight, regardless.
Yeah, I mean, going back, they've played each other, I think, 4 times in the past, in quite recent history. I think it's July and then in May. And all the maps were pretty close. So
there's like overtimes going on there.
It's all 4 maps went to Space Soldiers, but they were all pretty close. So that tells you, obviously, that these two teams are rather close to one another. But then again, Space Soldiers just has that little edge in terms of, I think they have more raw skill in the team, and they also are just more structured together as a unit.
I was going to give you mad props for knowing they played 4 times in the past couple months, and then I saw you were just blatantly cheating. Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
I thought, you're not going to have a problem with Alzheimer's, you remember that, but well, there goes that.
You got to do the background work, right? Isn't that fair? Is that fair enough?
No, he's the guy actually doing the background work. I tried to do it, and you just blatantly cheat. It doesn't even count.
He gave up.
Yeah, it's like
okay, you just keep throwing me under the bus. Why not? For old time's sake, why not, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, they have solved the issues, so this is the time where we, I think, get to watch some Counter-Strike. And I'm hoping that Sedekis and Henry are at least, somewhat ready to take it over. So
they look ready.
They always look ready. If you get, no matter the occasion, they're always ready. If you know what I mean. Take it away, boys.
Hi, definitely ready here. Hey, can you hear us? There it is. Hi.
We're ready. Production's not.
How are you, Matthew? It's been a long day. You ready for another best of 3?
It's been a long day. I heard there's some more, some off-camera, well, on-camera, but off-stream duties to be done tonight, too.
What is that?
Wow, just stuff that's coming up soon, Henry.
Stuff. Mysterious stuff. I saw you tweeting about some stuff today.
All right, you want to know the map pool again, just in case you didn't know it? Did you know it?
Yeah.
You have notes here. Unfortunately, you didn't
These
write
my
the
notes. Why have you got my notes?
They're not his notes. This is what is handed to us every game. They're not his notes. Don't listen to his bullocks. Do you want to read them? That's not a bad word in Canada, so I can get away with it. If Yanko can say things in English and then plead that like, oh, it's not in my country card, I can do it too, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, well then, we'll kick things off. The first map that was picked by Tricked was D-Train. And interesting, the first time we've had it at this tournament, I believe, unless we've not seen it.
Carry on. Just keep going.
Map pick number 2.
We saw it last night played, but it wasn't part of this tournament. We saw Ents play.
Not relevant, is it?
Okay, keep going.
Map 2.
I still can't hear you in my headset. That's not fixed yet.
Map 2, ladies and gentlemen. Picked by Team Space Soldiers. D-Cobble.
Okay. I'll bet you the last one's Dust 2.
Third map, by process of elimination.
Well, not really, because there's still bans in there.
Just eliminating it. Process elimination. Ban. Eliminated. Eliminated. Dust 2's left. Yeah?
Sure.
And that's it. That's the game.
Did you know that there are more good Canadian Dota players than there are good Counter-Strike players?
Nope.
It's not surprising, really, is it? All I have is Shroud.
Well, you see that.
And like 0.5 of a good player
you see that
in
thing that was announced today, that Starlight tournament, the one that like Cloud9 where you can be able to play?
You cannot use international tournaments. It has to be one country only.
Exactly. So like Shroud can't even play that tournament.
Just make a Canadian team
Who
and qualify. Shroud, Sempus,
Is
Davey.
Any of the TSM boys like Sick or Twist?
You could do no, yeah, you could do Twist, and then you grab. Who would you grab? Who would I grab right now? Davey would be in there. That's 4.
And
AZK. He's probably not banned in China.
Probably not that. Anyway, let's get into it. Looks like we are going to kick off
Valve supported.
the first map of this best of 3. This is the decider match. It was Space Soldiers that narrowly missed out in the game against Ents. It's going to be them starting on the T side here. They've got themselves 3 sets of armor, 1 smoke. In fact, I think 1 smoke's already gone. So that's going to be 2 total, and it's going to be flashbangs. And we'll have a look at the buy for the CTs as well. 4 sets of armor for them, and Hunden with the smoke and the diffuse kits. The smoke, of course, is placed on the CT side to eradicate that possibility of the Molotov being used on the inside site once the bomb is down. I think that about covers it.
FNS was the answer. That's who you'd pick. I have to remove my headset again so I can hear you, but the good news is I've got time to do so because there has not been much exchanges taking place so far. Lots of Ivy pressure so far early on, I will say that. As Desp and Engine Tujik's also looking to push down. Percy's going to be the one to start this off for Tricked. This Danish depth that shows up once again in this tournament. Engine going to take down Jugi as well. That brings back a little bit closer, but God Hunden comes in and Paz drops. He's got 2, in fact, as he drops Engine as well. Tujix has to try and make up for the deficit. Even HP really across the board. Nico with the K, but not the Serbian, and not to be confused with the Nico with the C, which is also from Denmark, is still on 100, and as too is Tujuk. They still don't have possession of the bomb because it's gone back down inside of the site, and Tujik has a lot of ground to gain to try and get back to a plantable position. Remember, there is still low HP on Instas, but it's going to be a good shot to start things off from Nico with a K, not with a C.
You can
Not
hear
from
the
Serbia.
the
Yeah,
100
there we
war
go.
cry as well I was talking about earlier, so you get used to that. It's quite
Okay.
high-pitched. But there it is, a 1-0 in favor of Trick. They hold off the offensive play from Space Soldiers. They're quite slow there, normally on the T side. We talk about the B side being very prevalent in a lot of their executions. You can always guarantee the bomb plant going down. That's not something the Space Soldiers were able to achieve there. They have to go for the force buy on the second round here. Dest, of course, is the AWP. He'll just be going for the PT-50 no armor. They've got a couple of smokes, I believe. Actually, just 1, and a flashbang, and 2 guys with the HE grenade. So a train, unless you have actually some sort of game plan, some sort of execution, it's not really going to amount to too much. The only real option here is smoke down the lower ramp, use that 1 flashbang they have, go for the plant. The plant has to come in here, and they're really going to be struggling in that first gun round. Definitely won't have much to work in terms of utility. Des could get the AWP because he hasn't invested too much into this round. But his should be that smoke I discussed earlier down the lower ramp. Can they hold them off?
I know Zontaras has hit some pretty lovely one-taps so far with the Deagle early on in the day, so a chance he can try and do so again.
For sure.
Nico and Hunden, the 2 players on the B site. Passive hold on A. No one getting close to the brain choke points coming into the yard because, of course, not wanting to give the pistols any chance. However, Deagles give the range, Tech-9s give the kills, Molotovs burn everyone alive as they walk in. They do get the bomb plant down, so successful attempt onto the B site. Remember, it is the place to go when you want fast plants, and surprisingly, with only 1 player making it beyond the entrance of the site, they do get 1. Zontaras, not surprising with the Deagle, at least gets a kill in the round, but it will be Tricked with their second.
Yeah, well, it's Space Soldiers getting the bomb down, so they will be fully equipped for the next, but they have a decent gun round going forward. So, Tricked, they only dropped 1 player. It's a pretty successful round from both teams, strangely enough. Like, Space Soldiers pretty much the best they could have hoped for there. Striking down lower, getting the bomb down, just repositioning themselves in terms of the economy. But this will be the full eco, you'd imagine. Desp, $4,500, that's going to be used for the AWP next round. They can probably justify a few Tech-9s here, some PT-50s. Looks like predominantly going to be those Tech-9s buys. They have got smokes as well, 4 of them in fact. So this will be a play towards the outside side, I'd almost guarantee it. Trying to get that bomb down once again. Do the dumpster smokes from outside of Ivy, and then you're going to be trying to just plant any way you possibly can. 2 guys going to be going towards the side of the area. Paz will be holding Pop Dog. He'll be going down, getting the distraction by his teammates, run out of A main, and try to get that plant. We'll see whether it works out for them. Scout in the hands. Oh, how are we saying that name? Jugi?
I still can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all.
I can hear you now.
Okay, well, is it Juggy or Jugi? What do you say? What are you going to say?
I'm going to go with Jubi on that one.
Jubi.
But watch the execution because they've gone for the 3-set smoke across the A site. The problem is they had a placement above it, and Percy's able to drop bomb on the way through. Pistol's unable to get more than one kill. It is Jugi that goes down. Juggy doesn't sound right to me. As Tujic with 2 quick kills, though, does make the Pistols in possession. Nico going to get one back to Paz, but bomb planted. Tujic, all he has to do is get this to a one-on-one, but he can't get quite that far. He cannot bait the timer in his favor, and Nico will get the defuse as well. As Thorin always says, Nico is the best player in the world.
It's
so he has to live up to it in this game, Henry.
It's absolutely true. Well, it's Space Soldiers getting another plant down here. They're going to have tons of cash going into round number 4, the first real gun round. Tricked have anticipated this. They got a double orb set up themselves. Jugi and Percy going to be picking up those weapons. Going to be Desp on the other side, picking up the AWP himself. We'll see what he can do with this weapon. It's going to be Zantares with the AK-47, of course. This is Tricked's pick, so you'd expect them to be slightly favored in this one. It's why best of 3s normally do make it to the 3rd map. We'll see whether Space Soldiers can get into this one, though. 3-0. At the moment, Zantara is making his way towards the inside side. He's going to be joined by all 4 of his teammates, in fact, and he'll be going in first, looking for this first pick as they flirt with the idea of going down towards the lower ramp here. Could be an execution. Actually, just good contact play. It's going to be Nico, as you said, the best player in the world, does take down 2 players with the FAMAS.
Des picks up another 2. Again, aggressive on the AWP. Molotov late, that won't deny bomb plant. He's going to easily put it down. An Engine getting aggressive. He can try and play this off. Hold the CTs at bay. There is the smoke out as well in the second alleyway. Desp again going to find the shot onto Instas. Nice shot from Engine, trying to get over top. Hunden in the open, can't get the information required. It's Jugi 1 versus 2, make it 3, excuse me, now 2. As Desp still alive on 3 HP with the AWP. He's got to fade away from this. So Tricked finally concede the first gun round. Space Soldiers will get on the board. 2 players stay alive. They'll be able to buy back into this, but so too will Tricked, and it should be fairly fragile on their part as well, given the last round went down to basically a 2 versus 1 before it did end in their favor. So both teams are fairly fragile. Yeah. And in fact, Tricked actually comes out considerably worse for wear.
Yeah, it's Insta. He's got $7,100, and you can see that Say AWP could tempt them into trying something here. Insta could drop 2 FAMASes, maybe 3 if he wanted to. So let's see what he decides to do. There's 1 going down. There's the second, and he's got an M4 himself. So they've actually got a reasonable buy coming in here. So M4, UMP, 5.7 on Percy. Okay, so it comes down to Jugi once again. Can he do anything with his AWP? Try and make it do something for them. He's got to be into that lower ramp area, trying to get the first pick. Can be very efficient for getting that. And he's going to have contacts in about 10 seconds by the look of this thing. Let's see if it works out for you. But on the other side, it's going to be aggressive play from Hunden towards the pop dog area. Doing a ton of wide. He's got the grenade out. Oh, no!
That is so awkward.
Why would you pull the grenade out?
He's done so much damage. Does he just expect the nade to go up and like curve for him? Either way, really awkward play. Hunden goes down. It's going to be Percy inside the ladders on Taras. He'll find the shot on Insta. And look outside that ladder because Percy has just kept enough vision to find Desp. However, it's Jugi to follow it up. They've actually still got the advantage in this. And Space Soldiers, we said it was worse for wear in terms of the money for Trick. They're going to be suddenly the ones that come out and go 4-1 down. Potential reset. Just on the brink of being able to force out Pistols. They've got 2 players into the 3 grand range, but the rest of them will have to almost full save in this because they are going to have no lost round bonus accumulated for them.
It wasn't the prettiest of rounds, but they all count. And that grenade was pretty epic, I have to say. It was ambitious, to say the least. But still, Trick do manage to survive. Jugi getting a couple of frags to the WP. He'll be keeping that weapon, of course. It is a fully kit from Space Soldiers. We're going to round number 6. Pretty much the terrorists can do with this. No grenades. 2 Glocks, make it 3, and a Deagle. And Teres will be the one with that Deagle. He's got some body armor as well, so trying to hunt out what he can with the hand cannon. Will be Nico back towards that inside area. Will be backed up by Hunden himself as they edge in towards the upper ramp. Surely going to be locked down now.
Oof. Shot out Nico, takes down Zantares. Big scope to find early on. And it knocks the terrorists back again, anti-eco situation, but good start so far. Bomb dropped upper hallway. Tuzik's going to try and at least figure out what's going on toward B, but no fast play to just try and go for the plant at this point in time, which you might have expected. Again, we talk about B. It's such an easy site to try and get in toward, get the bomb down. Engine doing some work on A to try and hold them in position so Paz can go for that play, but he's got to confront Nico, make it by. He's going to go for the plant, hold it. They should get the money for doing so. And Nico will have to just attempt to hold this off himself as he waits for his teammates to come through Z. And he shouldn't repeat this down to 11 HP. No need to give away guns unnecessarily, or rather reinvestment, as it surely will be a kill to end the round. But nonetheless, it is going to be now 5-1. Space Soldier's going to buy immediately back up into this, and with the plant, 2 rounds, they're going to be just in a position where Tuzik's can make the decision if he wants the AWP or not.
Yeah, they've got about average of about $3,600 across them. We'll see what they decide to do. I think they could get an offer they really wanted to, but it looks like they will be going for the 5 AK-47s. Strict looking pretty strong here on the CT side and working together efficiently. Good crossfires established towards that inside site, and it's Nico who's been getting a couple of real nice frags as they come in towards that area. Now another true test, another gun round coming in. The terrorists have got utility to play with, 5 smokes. Only 1 Molotov though. We'll see what they decide to do. Just looking at the minimap right now, they're spread out on a pretty standard default, covering every angle of the map. Paz and Zantera is working towards Pop Dog, Tugux at Ivy, and Engine and Desp just watching A main. Orp is going to be in the hands of Jugi, and as we're looking towards A-main himself, will he be able to get the opportunity to actually find his first frag? Oh.
Gonna put Jugi in a big awkward position. Does get one back into Desp, but goes down to 19. He's got to play these alleys correctly. Sit toward Hell, because Engine's wrapping around and already toward Green Chain. Elevates himself, drops back down. AK gets the advantage, and not only that, Engine. Interesting decision to try and smoke that off again, considering his teammate hadn't won the duel at Ivy. It was an easy pick to grab, but instead, AK not drawn. He now finds himself in a 1 versus 3. It could have easily been just 2 players remaining. Low HP left 400 on top of the bomb site. And bomb way back towards spawn still, because it was intentionally left to open up the frags, to open up the picks, and that never transpired. So he's got a long way to go just to get back to that position, and Insta's just going to hold the angle. Tricked up 6-1 over Space Soldiers right now. Long game for them against Ents, but you would have thought still coming into this.
That'd be hot.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I'd like Space Soldiers to be a little bit more ruthless. We know they've got those great aimers, those great AK users as well. Desp just needs to be at the back with the AWP. If they can do the faster strategies like we see from the likes of Astralis, from VP, when you're going in, using the spawns and throwing smokes as you're running to that open area, that's when you can be very effective and you actually have your big players have opportunity to get duels. Right now they're doing very slow defaults, getting picked off 1 by 1. It seems like the AWPer of the CT side isn't getting those first picks. He does once again this round, but it's against Nico. It's not really relevant, but still, it's going to be Tugux who will be facing towards Ivy, and it just frags all over the place with the TPs here. Nothing arriving for the Space Soldiers, and it's a clean sweep. Jugi picks up 3. Insta and Percy helping him out as well, but 7-1. Money's starting to establish itself once again for the terrorist side, but they have lost 4 in a row. Maximum loss bonus next round. Des back on towards the AWP. And this will be another important round here. What's the plan? Will they be taking it up a gear and start going a little bit faster, just trying to challenge the CTs here? Or would it be back to a slow default?
Instas and Jugi again out toward that Ivy position, but faster play this time toward ladder from Space Soldiers. Hunden's going to get aggressive. Percy will be the rotate. And Nico playing Taz side B train to hold off push from bottom ramp. He can hug wall play spool if they go above him, and then it's up to Percy to collect the crossfire setup. He's already rotated over to do so early on, but still utility held right now on the terrorist side. There's still a decent amount of Molotovs on the CT side, but smokes limited down to just the 2 remaining, 1 on Percy, 1 on Jugi. So they've done well to bait this out already. Against Space Soldiers, we saw it on Mirage against Ents in the last game. Their T-sides, they're more than willing to slow the pace and try and go for fast, explosive plays late. Similar, perhaps you could say, to what Na'Vi and even Luminosity era SK tried to do. It's just that it's not quite as organized. Smoke goes upper, smoke goes lower, drop down for Zontera's potential, but he's actually going to like to push right through because his team's not yet in position. So sitting inside the smoke to try and catch Nico off when they do go through. Flash from Paz will allow the push it, down the ramp, and it's Percy that's in the alley, in the lane. He can deny plant from this position again. It's Nico that's on the off angle that's not being spotted just yet, and Percy through the smoke can't find the diffuser, but rather, the planter, but goes in and denies it with the knife, so gets the extra money. It's an awkward exchange. Bombs drop down. Still a man advantage. Percy, though, pushing in. Great shot from Engine. That'll save it because now they can pick it up. They can get the plant, and on top of that, they get the round on Desp's AWP shot. And that Molotov coming in that late would have denied it if it weren't for that shot.
Quite scrappy rounds, but still the City's doing what they could to try and hold them off. They got to actually adjust themselves to double orb setup here, but definitely not comfortable to stay Space Soldiers there. Like you said, that full inside execution coming in, but Molotov out of position. They couldn't really enter the bomb site for about 5-6 seconds there. And the time they did get in, it wasn't the cleanest, but some missed shots there, and the knife coming in to deny the bomb did make things possible for the CTs, but ultimately Space Soldiers coming out on top here. It's going to be round number 10. Double orb setup, and it's Jugi once again has impressed me so far with the shots he consistently lands. And it's going to be the secondary orb helping him out as well. That's in the hands of Percy. He lands a second shot. The orb's just doing absolute work here. It's going to be a 5-on-2 as Percy hits the fourth. And that's it, round over. Not really much Zeros can do in this situation. They tried to go with the faster play, like we suggested, but this double orb setup adjustment seems to be working perfectly there. You need to go those fast plays. The smokes need to be coming over. The flashbangs need to be ringing true as well. It's very difficult to lock down those orbs when they are in those kind of strong positions, especially when they're both towards outside as well. Normally with the double orbs, you'd have one towards inner, one towards outer. This time, Trick's just ready for this. What kind of buy have we got coming in now? It should be a force, I'm assuming, since they won one, lost one. Only have $1,400, double eco anyway. So Tech-9s, smokes, flashbangs, body armor. Once again, try and get that bomb down. I'd say inside side is where they've had most of their success so far, Space Soldiers. So for me, that's where I'd be looking to go. But it's not up to me.
Hunden, it's definitely not, thankfully. Is going to watch toward ladder inside bomb train. Playing from Hitch, it's on Taras that has potential to try and hinder his position. Smokes out. Only 2 land on top of the bomb train itself. One to allow the default plant, one to cut off C connector. There is a gap where Hunden was previously looking, but with no one else to cover him off from Ivy and flashes coming through, he can't put himself back in that position. Trade out as Insta goes down, and Tujuks, who did run directly by Hunden, eventually turns back with the Tech-9. And as you say, the faster plays, they're benefiting right now for Tricked. Or rather, excuse me, 4 Space Soldiers as Trick goes down to 2 and has to try to pull this back. AWP as well in the retake, and no rifle nearby for Jugi to quickly swap over to, at least until he gets toward the bomb train. Yeah. And on that, that's the invitation to just back away from this.
I think these are the rounds they should stick to. They've got, I dare say, superior aim in terms of raw mechanical ability, and just getting in there, getting the jewels, and being nice and fast, grouping up. That's the way to attack this situation. You obviously haven't got the tactical depth to lock down this Trick side, and they seem very well versed on train, so let's just stick together and try and outgun them. As this time it's Tech-9's getting himself up there. A few smokes go over, a couple of flashbangs. CTs look very confused at that one. And it's going to be 8-3 Space Soldiers finding their 3rd round. And there's number 12. The money's still very strong for the CTs here. Plenty to go around. Even after the rebuy, it's going to be Nico and Jugi still plus 6K. And Insta not far behind on 3,600 as well. But once again, it's winning one for Space Soldiers. If they were to lose it, it's another eco. So just need to start stringing some rounds together here to actually stabilize the economy.
Jugi aggressive immediately toward the lower ramp position of B. Doesn't go to the corner, doesn't try and hold it off. Zantaras, meanwhile, slower play, is going to get top the ladder. Group with his team once more. Interestingly enough, I haven't, I could be wrong, I just may not have picked up on it. I haven't heard them blow out the windows above ladder too many times throughout the course of this half. Again, it's one of those standard things. Yeah, again, they're there. So one of those things you do just to mask in case you want to use them, in case you want to flash and smoke from them. It doesn't give it away the one time you try and do so.
Look at Jugi, he's on that lower ramp once again, has got a gap in the smoke to use as well. Zantaras could walk straight into his crosshair. He's oh, it's very close. Doesn't land the shot, but Paz does. Takes out Nico. Now it's up to Jugi. He's alone. He can't really justify staying on the side. Has to fall back to a more defensive position. Do the terrorists come in? It looks like they will commit.
Hunden's already on this flank, though. Gifted. As he catches one player trying to rotate back around to upper. A second shot, Jugi's got it. And Hunden's going to drop right in. Zantaras falls, no response. It's a one-man advantage now for Trick to work with. Jugi through the smoke. Down goes Engine, and it's all left to Tujuks, who's caught and dropped by Instas. And it's 9-3. Another reset coming in.
Absolutely. So if you're unfamiliar with the term reset, and it basically means...
I mean, it's been back and forth, to be fair. It's not like there's been a lot really accumulating, but it's keeping the money.
But it just means every round they're winning, they're now onto a double eco situation, so they're forced to actually get the Tech-9s out. They were lucky in the sense that one of the 4 spies they did do was the Tech-9s. It worked out for them. So it was a bit of an anomaly in that sense. But we'll see what goes on. It's not going to be the 4 spy this time from Space Soldiers. They're going to be going for the Desert Eagles PT-50s, no armor, no nades. And it's not going to be going aggressively at all. It's going to be a default setup, and it's Juggy once again. How many frags has this man got right now? It's going to be 13. Feels like they've all been the AWP. Every single round is consistently finding kills. Now coming to the closing sectors of the first half here. This will bring us to round 14, and it's where hopefully Space Soldiers have some money to work with. If they can get the bomb down, that'd be tremendous.
Resume the game. Don't quit the game. Resume it. There we go. Whew, thankfully. Because Tricked eSports are having an excellent start, they certainly don't want to quit. But it is going to be Nico to close it out. Engine down. No money again, as we mentioned on the Space Soldier side. Double digit already. This is their map choice. And with the potential that Space Soldiers does have, we go to Cobblestone next. This could go all the way, but it's an AWP brought immediately back up for Jugi, and it's going to be complemented by Percy. Double op setup train. You can get one out toward Ivy. You can easily get one at the B hallway. I don't know. You've often had opinions on this.
On what, double orb setups?
On train in particular.
I like it on train. I think it's a fantastic setup on train. I think it means you're a lot more dynamic, especially if you can get the orb towards the upper ramp, facing towards inside. I think that's one of the strongest setups. I don't mind it at all. It's Cobble's the only one I have a real problem with. Train, I think it's one of the more defining double orb maps, along with Dust 2.
It's just going to stare the down at Ivy. He's allowing them to at least walk in slightly first. Alongside him, Percy, so that's one of the two AWPs. He's actually looking out toward A main right now. He'll play off the information, quick smoke in. They're going to smoke the right, push the left. It's going to have to be Percy to turn around. Hunden's got the kill out toward A main, no response yet. Percy, he's just turned around now. He's a little bit late to do so, but it's just done all the work himself, and he will pick up one kill. Percy with the AWP. It's Paz, left versus 4. And both AWPs, still alive and well, and Jugi may just pick up another. Good nade, 11 HP, easy picking as Percy walks around with the pistol.
Well, then that buy doesn't really amount to too much for the Space Soldiers here. They get $2,400 from their loss bonus here on the last round of the first half. They are on the T side. It's definitely considered a CT-sided map, but you're going to need more than 3, especially with the pistol coming round. We'll see what they can do here in the final round. They've got Tech 9s, Deagles, armor, grenades. It was actually one of the few rounds that worked out for them as well. Fast out towards inside and just locking it down with a very fast play toward that outside area. It looks like they'll be focusing towards inside this time with the Tech 9s. Nico's the only player there. And what weapons he's got? He's got the M4 or 4 in hand. He's going to be flashed off for now. So the terrorists have got an opportunity to actually get the bomb down here and make things interesting.
Price comes through from Nico. Tries to shuffle over to the right and catch anyone after the post plant, but bomb goes down successfully, and a Molotov in the summit position, so he can't push through. It's going to be Percy, AWP firing in, both ops firing from long right now to try and make some ground forward, but that allows Space Soldiers retake. They're so limited to get aggressive. Percy's got to swap to the pistol. Nearly finds the second kill as Desp goes, or rather, Engine goes low, but Hunden's got the angle. He comes in late from behind. Desp goes down, and Engine gets so aggressive trying to pursue the kill that he puts himself entirely out of position, and he can't get back there in time.
Good comms from Trex, who obviously knew exactly where he was, and Hunden's going for that full defuse. You can hear the footsteps. If it does get a little bit too close, you can always get off it, but confidently gets that nice 5-second defuse coming in. 12-3 after winning the pistol as well. It's a very decent half for Trex. If they win the pistol on the second, it's pretty much over. It's no real coming back from that, but we'll see what Space Soldiers can do. Never count them out. Immense amount of talent available. Train, I can see from their T side, it's just not one of the maps they play too often. It seems like they're pretty weak on this one. As we do go into the second half. This is a best of 3. It's getting pretty late here in Finland, but this will be the final game of this evening. Tomorrow we have the playoffs, and we have 4 teams going in, battling it off, and we do have Enter as well. Good news for the fans here at the Assembly in Helsinki.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be on the bigger stage, bigger audience, and of course more support for Ents, I'm sure.
And we're going to get
fly the banner.
A new headset as well.
New headset?
I'm going to get you a new headset for tomorrow.
Oh, thank God. It's not so much the headset, it's just a little tiny mic.
Yeah.
But fast play on B, fast plant to follow up as well. That does give Pistols a chance to try and hold off the post plants, these Glocks, if they can get aggressive, but they've got 2 utility players, which means Jugi, and it was Percy, had the only sets of armor, and they've both fallen. It's on to Insta to clutch this out 1 versus 4. And this is going to be a tall order, especially with kits in the folds. Antares, he's got an armor. He's already picked up the kit that Dep's had, and Paz with the shot. It's going to be an instant defuse, and Space Soldiers, a desperate attempt and a needed pistol round will give them the 4th. They can try and close back a few of the rounds that Tricked have built up against them.
This is why terrorist sides go towards that inside area so commonly on the T-pistol because you're almost guaranteed to getting the bomb down. Even if you don't win the round, which is still a possibility, you've got that to work with going forward. And this is a strange call from Tricked. Forcing up on the second after getting the bomb down. We could discuss this all day long, but when you have these kind of leads, it's a ballsy play. Like, you want to make sure you just go into those AKs and just dominate it correctly, but they've gone for the Tech-9's Desert Eagles, obviously feeling confident. There's no reason why it can't work. Let me stress that, but it's just in terms of the mathematics behind it, the percentage chance of winning, when you're considering the lead you have, it's just not really required at this stage. We'll see what they decide to do. I assume it will be some sort of outside play. You can see Jugi and Percy with the smokes towards outside. Desp, though, he's pushed aggressively, and that's a strange move. What? Okay, I'm not going to get annoyed, but it's a really big round for him, and he's just giving the 5-on-4 away for free, essentially.
Well, see if that's going to haunt them in the end as Paz pulls one back. Bomb going to be planted inside smoke immediately before they can react and try and deny. Juki with the Eagle looks toward help, but it's Engine who's already there, UMP in hand to take him immediately down, and Hunding gets forced further back with the smoke in front. That's going to allow them to go right immediately onto this defuse, and he's going to be in no position to try and deny it as he sprays desperately with the Tech-9 in doing so. And he'll give Trix their 12th. Or rather, excuse me, Space Soldiers their 5th, and Trix still on 12, but they also able to hold over one Tech-9. Getting a bomb plant down, they'll be in a good position to pull out full utility on the the 4th and first gun round of this half. I've really lost it, Henry. I've really hit the wall.
It's getting late.
It is.
We've been here since, what, 10 o'clock this morning. So it's a long day, but, you know, we're going to finish it off in style, man. We're going to stay strong.
Some more than others.
Definitely some more than others, but...
Natsu's looking great.
Where is he?
I just didn't want to give you the credit. Engine with the smoke in front of him. Percy, bomb on the other side of it. Again, they try and put this 3-man pressure toward Ivy. We saw Space Soldiers do the same thing in the first half, so it seems to be the trend.
You see now, this would be the round where Tricked had the AKs, and they could have got a few, like P250 Tech-9, got a few kills, got another bomb plant down. They'd be in a really strong position right now. They went for that full force by whoever's calling for them. They needs to have a little think about whether that was the right move, but this has opened the window of opportunity a little bit further for Space Soldiers, and this is a pretty simple round. It's almost redundant. It's quite impressive, though, from Engine to find 3 kills with the UMP. Death chimes in as well, and it's Santeris to finish things off, 12-6. And here we go, then. The first real gun round. There is an AWP available for Jugi, and I have to say, one of the players I've never casted before, and he seems pretty impressive. Do you know anything about this young man?
No, not really, actually, to be completely honest with you.
So the other guys, like I've played with Source with like Percy, Hunden. The other two, it's Nico, like you said, it's not the Nico from Dignitas.
Nico, I think he's 18 years old. He is a younger player. We heard Vendetta elaborate a little bit onto him, and I have heard whispers of him coming up because there's been a lot of confusing forum posts about it. But the others, I have no idea.
All right. Well, Jugi and Nico, I don't know anything about. Insta was a Source player, so.
Okay. Yeah, Jugi definitely I haven't seen. I mean, I've seen Nico as well in I want to say perhaps this tournament last time. Obviously, 100 and Percy, we all know, but you can't not know the god.
Do you believe in him, though?
I'm agnostic. It's the easiest way to just not have an argument with anyone.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
Do you believe in God? I don't know.
Diffuse that situation straight away.
It's so easy.
I haven't actually thought about that. That's actually quite a good way to do it. Anyway. 12-6, and it's going to be the first real gun round here. Time ticking away. We hit the 1-minute mark. Paz is going to be on the bomb train. He is just ducking and weaving, looking for any sort of information he can gather from the Danish side. Nico, though, we just talked about him. He's made his way all the way toward the upper ramp on the inside area. Undetected, of course. If we look at Tuguk's position, please, you'll see he's kind of got that locked down. He's ready for it if they do come out of position, just behind that Spools area.
2-6. Got a dance party going on next door during the BYOC.
That's what we're going after this.
I'm going to bed. Nico's got the shot on Santaris coming through the top and finally Tricked an advantage to work with on the gun round. Finally on this terrorist side, remember they had a 12-3 halftime score and they want to try and add to that quickly. Bomb goes down, forward stance as well to hold off the last 2 remaining CT players, both of which now have kits as Des picks one up, off of his teammates to see Scorps. It's going to be Instas, though, immediately popping out on a timed flash to catch Paz, and Desp has to go 1 versus 3, AWP in hand. It might be a Hyper Beast, but I think this Hyper Beast would need a Sugar High to try and find all 3 of these kills. And as he retreats, he may actually get hunted down. Here's it coming. Instas gets caught by that. Pretty straightforward, though, on the save. And it's going to be 13-6, map 1 coming up next, Cobblestone.
You're right there. Cobblestone for the next one, and then Dust 2 to decide if requires. Seems like Trick, though, have got this first map sussed out. It's the first gun round going in their favor. 13-6 now. A huge mountain for Space Soldiers to climb, but they have got money on their side for now. Double orb setup will be coming in for them. Money's not amazing for Trick. If Space Soldiers can win this round, it will be affecting them heavily. Looking after the rebuy, literally no money left at all after all that investment. I think Nico's the only player. He's got just under 3k as we go into round number 20 here. Desp and 2Gugs on the AWPs looking for those first picks, and I've got a feeling that Trick, they picked this map for a reason. They're going to have lots of tactical depth and plenty to work with here, so we'll see how this round unfolds. At the moment, it's Juggy and Percy going towards Ivy area, but 2Gugs towards that lower round. We see so many players trying to use that position. It's going to be Nico going down first this time.
Now, Desp holding the top of the Z connector has called Tuzik's back slightly. Hundred's going to evaluate at least what's going on toward the B site. Solo with bomb, so Ince's going to get on his horse and try and work that direction, give him a little bit of support to play with. Left side smoke comes out of alley, no push through it. Engine's already turned his attention in the approach that they may try and catch him off. But again, it's slow plays. This time it's Tricked on their terrorist side that's really trying to drag things out. Cause Space Soldiers to get impatient, take advantage of perhaps a mistake to bring this deficit dead even. And they've really tried to move these ops around a few times. They're just going to go back inside of the site itself. But the second one, Desp, he's gone from out toward Ivy at the start of the round, now towards Z connector.
5 and 4. Trick now up against it. Paz going a little bit more aggressive towards A main as well. The shots are being rattled off, and it's going to be an outside execution here. Shots coming in. It's going to be Yuki going down, and now it's up to the remaining CT to just finish this one off. Insta does find 1 kill, but that's all he'll find here. And like I said, the money will be heavily affected here as we go forward. 13-7 in favor of Trick still, but they just don't really have enough to justify anything into this round. They could force if they wanted to. It's double eco regardless. So it's going to be Desert Eagles and or PT50s here. Nico keeping his money a little bit stronger than the others. Everyone fully investing into this one. You can see Nico with some residual cash. But round number 21.
Desp still waiting as well with the EWP once more in this Z connector position. Guardian very much likes to pre-fire that through the wall, that exact angle, now that he's faced out slightly further, but he wants the opening shot. He's going to get it as well. Nico goes down. It's Tuzik rotating back on the B site that we keep our eyes firmly affixed upon. But Percy, he's picked up a shot with the Deagle that's going to take Engine back. All this transpiring well and truly in on the A site. Desp continues to fire directly down the alleyway in toward the E-box, and he rotates over, tries to get a better angle. It's Zantares that starts to go to work. This comeback is firmly on because Tricked eSports definitely running out of options and aren't really getting close to sites to even allow plants to come in their favor. And in fact, I have to say, so far, their best attempts to pick up rounds have been on the B site, even though they've got, yes, okay, 1 plant inside smoke fast default onto A. They haven't established a post plant. The only time they did was that B win they picked up.
A cheeky play from Hunden to try and get the bomb down towards the inner side, towards the end of the site. Doesn't really work out there. As we go into round number 22, Space Soldiers just clawing their way back into this. The force buy does not work out for Trick. There will be full eco going into round 22 here. Double orb setup has been very efficient for the CTs. As now it's going to be Glocks. 4 of them, in fact, and a Desert Eagle in the hands of Nico. So this is pretty much what I'd call a redundant round. It's not going to amount to anything. Maybe a chance bomb plant, but that'll be about it. And there it is, out of the position I was talking about before. So let's be a little bit careful. Those are retreats. Let's take some damage. Goes under 33 HP, but manages to pull out the 5-7 and get the job done. And looking to get his third kill here. Surely going to die. Okay, I thought it was the nose go, but that's one. That works.
He makes up for it. You just hyped it up a little bit too soon. You saw the future, Henry, but now it goes to 9 rounds for Space Soldiers. Again, continuing to close this gap. 12-3 was our score at halftime. AWP going to come up onto Jiggy, and it's going to put a double op in the hands now of Tuzix and Desp as they start to get comfortable with their economy. In fact, 95 rather for Desp. It's far away when I look at that monitor. I should look at yours. Much easier. 95 for Desp, even after having the AWP out. 41 left over on the second AWP player in the form of Tuguk. So everything looking pretty comfortable for an extra buy for Space Soldiers, even if they lose one, which is pretty important, especially if Trick get on to 14 rounds. You need to have something left over to combat the fact that you don't save immediately and play for overtime this far away, still at 9 rounds only in your total.
Time for the outside execution, it seems, as Percy does open up the fragging there, taking down Tuguk. They have got the inner bomb site. It's going to be Yugi actually finding the kill into Xanterra as well. That's the round over as far as they're concerned. The CTs will just be retreating, and it's a really fast inside execution there. And it's just that first kill. If you're not getting any sort of exchanges there, Xanterra, as the star player, goes down as well. And it's going to be a 5-on-3. The CTs can't justify even thinking about retaking this one. They have got money left over. It's Desp on 9,500, but keeping these weapons in their hand for now is to be more beneficial going forward. But it will be 14-9 in favor of the Danes. We'll see whether they can capitalize and finish things off here.
And again, just saving this out, playing the long game. As I mentioned, they would have an AWP in hand on Desp regardless. They had 41 on Tuguk. They'd get another one onto him, but this is just going to continue to stretch it. So 14-9, this is the situation mentioned. They've now got guns to still combat this. They don't have to play for overtime. Plus, they still have a full buy. This time, we're saving that, a full buy in hand. But Trick getting that much closer. It's just a game of inches at this point for them, 1 round at a time. Do you not know the inches speech, Henry?
I do. I thought you were going to take a much darker place.
I think it's any given Sunday that it's from. I could be wrong. You'd have to look it up. Desp. Nade in toward main on A. If you did want to talk about inches, though, Henry, 14 divided by 2. As it is a bit of damage done on Ajugi already. Percy just waiting to see if anyone's going to push out from Ivy. Bomb dropped intentionally out toward A main. No one evaluating just yet. Nico is the top ladder, but evaluating in toward the B side. It's Xanterra's playing in there solo, so he hasn't had a lot of activity to play off of so far, as Tricked. And wants to try and bait out utility this time, and in doing so, they've been quite successful. In fact, no smokes left on the CT side. 4 Molotovs, now down to 3 to try and work this with.
No one opening up the fragging just yet. It is Xanterra's and 2 guys towards the inside site. Double orb set up, still rolling strong. There's 2 guys in that connector area as well. Desp looking towards Ivy. It's another outside execution. The smokes are dropped. It's a very fast play, and Engine gets the first frag, and it's going to be insta replying straight away here. No one can really capitalize. The bomb yet to be planted.
This is going to be denied again from Space Soldiers.
Pads
continuing
there
to charge in strongly, and it's a reset as Nico goes down. It's going to be Tricked with very little money left. The 10th round now for Space Soldiers. They're slightly better off having gotten a bomb plan out of this. In fact, Nico's going to go straight onto the AWP, drop that over to Instas, but it's still a chiseled match. And double op immediately coming out again for the CT side. London's one with bomb to start this off, and already they bring a little bit more pressure in the upper tunnels right now as him and Nico working toward that top of ladder. Again, Xanterra's playing solo on B side. Tuguk Z able to rotate accordingly.
You can see the bomb now. It's in the hands of Hunden. He's got towards that inside upper platform once again. They've used the smoke at the start of the round to actually take away the possibility of an orb being there waiting for them as well. That's a risky base from Hunden though. He actually faced towards the upper platform completely. Had he gone down then, that's round over, but he does manage to avoid any confrontation for now. As we are getting to the 1 minute mark. Another outside play perhaps. 4 smokes still available for the terrorists here. It's Engine who's defending towards Ivy. He's only got the silence M4. He'll be smoked out, has to fall back. Needs some backup from his teammates here. Paz had a sensational round before. Looking to continue that form from the bomb site. As we hit the 50-second mark, you'd feel like the smokes will be going over momentarily, and they'll be splitting from Ivy, main entrance, and Pop Dog.
2 players down from Pop Dog, Paz, and Desp on the site. First shot goes to Desp on the AWP. Engine's going to push through the smoke, coming in late from Ivy. 2 kills for him, and quickly the tides turn. It's Tricked, struggling once more. These guns soon to fall, and perhaps fall from favor in this game because it'll go to 11. No guns up, just get to 12. Paz holds it just barely as it just takes him low. He had just 13 HP left over, and Hunden once again is going to try and get aggressive late and bring the bomb over, get a plant, and make something out of nothing. But it's 11 and potentially 12 rounds for Space Soldiers going against what will be an anti-eco.
I feel like a pause is needed now for Trick.
Yes, agreed.
This is the slow down. Let's work out what's going on. Maybe next round we got the money back up. I think that's probably going to be the best protocol going forward. They're starting to slip away now. Every round they're winning has been fully reset. And he's having a bit of a struggle. It seems like another round going in favor of the Space Soldiers here. Number 26. Pretty much every game has gone the distance here today here at Assembly. And this one maybe doing just the same. It's going to be 5 Glocks, no grenades, no armor. As naked as you can get in CSGO.
Gonzalez, quick shot now, and he gets contested. He can hold. They haven't given a lot of pressure onto him. Very swift action with the M4. Double op never even really needed in that round. Then it's going to be the 14-12. Pretty straightforward. So finally they put some pressure onto B. It's when they don't have the guns. Back onto the AKs immediately, but once again, still not a lot built toward them. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is going to be 3 rounds. Yeah, 3 rounds in the last round bonus. But they brought down to 3 digits, Henry.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit tight now.
2,900. That's the math. That's what they'll get. They'll just barely be able to bring out AKs and Galil's next round. Bomb plants imperative at this point.
Inside rush. Let's go.
Straight rush. You like it? Just go for it. Zantares, he likes it. He certainly does. Takes down 2. Late smoke further down the sidewalk to try and get them around the corner into the default, but Molotov's already on that, and Zantares repositioning accordingly. It's going to be Hunden that slows things down, makes the call. But the call might come a little bit late. Hunden as well now with instas. Doesn't have much utility left to work with. Insta right now has their only smoke. Interesting position as well, going out toward T-spawn as the push comes through from Engine. This could catch them off entirely. He's just going to be getting in toward the A site. Paz on top of the train. They just need to delay this slightly, but late rotation. Paz does pick up 1. Late rotation from Zantares and Tujix because they didn't want to give up too much too soon. Engine nearly whiffs the shot when he does arrive, but he does get there in the end. And despite Paz going down, Engine's going to close it.
Take a pause now. If all you've got left in the tank is let's just try rushing inside of no smokes and hope for the best. That's just not going to cut out, I'm afraid. Get this round out of the way. Pause next. Okay, here comes
there you go. They heard you.
No, this
but
is
that's Zantares calling it, so this is, I assume, technical.
They've had like microphone issues throughout this tournament. I feel like it's a technical one. Yeah, they're going to unpause it straight away.
They probably just felt bad for Tricked and were like, you know what, if you're not going to call the pause, I'll call it for you.
If I'm on Tricked, I'm just like, okay, let's just use this time quickly. Don't unpause it straight away. Yeah, look, they're asking them to unpause it.
Yeah, there you go.
Get a little extra 10 seconds out of it. But here it is. P50s, Tech-9s, and the huge lead that Tricked had. It seemed like they had this one completely tied up. Completely gone now. The T side, I thought, was, I said they were going to have lots of tactical depth here. This don't really have much to work with. I think they need to pause next round and work out what they're doing, because it's looking a little bit lackluster at the moment. The double orb setup, as soon as that came out, that's when it all went wrong for them.
So Zantares rotating off of the B site early. It's Hunden that wants to try and make his presence felt. This time, a lot more smoke's thrown out. Paz, he's forced off the bomb train early, but no smoke at Hitch. He's got vision toward Quad. Interesting boost up on top of radiation as well, and a smart play as Paz picks up 1 onto Hunden. Nico gets 1 in turn, but it's Des to follow up with the AWP. And they're getting creative, Space Soldiers, and they're going to tie this game 12-3 at half. And it's all down to just Yugi. Bombs planted, but he's just got a P250 to try and hold on to this. It's 14-14 after that first half we already saw.
14-14, who would have thought? This is the try. Please take the pause, Trick. If you can hear me, just take the pause. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. You've got time to think about this decision. You've got a pause available. Let's take it.
Inexperience.
Like, it's just there. Even if you like, even if it's just a moment just to calm down, you don't want to change anything. Just work out what the problems are, and not going to take it. Just going to go straight into it, of course. I'm going to have a look at the minimap right now. What is the plan here? It's going to be Yugi on towards that AWP. Maybe don't have an inside rush here. Actually, they'll be changing it after. It looks like all 5 players are going to go inside, but...
Tujix falling away from this The position Zantares is the one beside him again, not surprisingly. He's going to try and get a little bit more aggressive. Nico and Instas are the ones to go upper this time. A little bit more pressure for a drop play. Tuzuk's just staring it down again. No smoke, no utility, just walk in blindly. And it's a shooting gallery. You're making it far too easy. And Space Soldiers are going to put themselves on map point, despite being down and heavily outweighed in the first half.
That's the big plan. Let's just go inside. Two people
You're getting
up,
tilted. I like it. I like
three people up. Like, is that the game-winning strategy that's going to bring you over the finishing line here? Don't take the pause. Just rush inside. Hope for the best. They're crumbling here.
You know what's going to happen now? They're going to force overtime, and then they're going to win just to make you even more mad.
I'll be fine if they do that, as long as they take a pause and think about what they're doing.
Fair enough.
Like, you can always recover. You haven't lost yet.
Well, it is Paz that starts the spraying off, but Percy has got the first. Nico finds another. They have got the man advantage. Jump shot from Yugi. He can't find it, but it is control room where his target resides. Regardless, it's Zantares to take him down before he can do so, and Zantares to close it. 3 to 12 at half, and it goes to that scoreline.
What can you say about
16-14. That is brutal, and like you say, no pause and absolutely no idea where to place smokes.
Just the whole T-side approach from them there. It was actually pretty good to start with. Like, you can see there was close rounds. They're getting outside. They could obviously have the executions. It's when the pressure was applied, they really did start crumbling. They didn't know what to do. They tried, let's just try an inside rush with no smokes down lower. Let's try an inside rush with 2 going up and 2 down lower. And just everything they could possibly do was just take the pause, lads. You've got it there. It's available. You're obviously struggling. You don't know what you're going to do. This is your pick. You really need to win this one. You get against Cobble next, which is their specialty. This is where Space Soldiers is going to be a team that's got more firepower than you, more talent available. They're going to be going up on that map.
I have something for you that's going to calm you down and not make you so triggered. Eat that. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, it's cobblestone. That is your burger.
I told you, every game he has to have one.
We'll be back after I eat, because I'm fat.